Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock, so we can go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining us on another edition of the Long Coffee Break. My name is Bill Rohn, and I'm a senior sales engineer with Long. Today, we are going to be talking about Swegon BlueBox. We are lucky enough to be joined by Richard Zhang, regional sales manager with Swegon. Thanks, Richard. With that, I'll hand it over to you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Bill and the Long Building, to have me again. This is actually the third time I'm going through this coffee break. This time, I'm very excited to introduce the Swegon BlueBox chiller heat pump with 454B. Just give you a brief history, so don't give you any surprise. What is the BlueBox and how is it related to the Swegon? So we basically, Swegon acquired BlueBox in 2010. And in this history, you will see a lot of familiar names, for example, Vibroacoustic. Yeah, forget to introduce myself. I used to be the sales engineer for Vibroacoustic. I have already supported the engineering community in Denver and Colorado in the last 15 years. I'm very excited to keep serving the team over here. We basically acquired BlueBox in 2010, but the history of the chiller actually going all the way back to the early 1970s. So we basically position ourselves, Swegon, as a counterpart of the Johnson Control in Europe. So you will see there's a many familiar name over here. Giving the example, we actually own Ruskin in England, and Johnson Control own Ruskin the rest of the world. You also see many familiar names. For example, the Barco Air used to be represented by Long Building as well, and now they are actually under the umbrella of Swegon. So here's a vision of Swegon for all electric building. I know in Denver there's a huge push for the all electric applications over here. We already introduced the high efficiency ERV without preheater. It can run smoothly without preheater at a -20 Fahrenheit ambient temperature. We're also including the chill bin to North America and also some sound attenuator over there. We are very excited to finally put a final piece of puzzle together, hydronic cooling and heating unit over to North America. On the one hand, I know A2L refrigerant is very new to North America, but just give you some background of history with Swegon BlueBox. We started to introduce the A2L refrigerant since 2015, almost 10 years ago. So to Swegon BlueBox is a very mature technology. So you can see over here, not only we very familiar with the A2L, but we're actually leading the stride to the next generation of refrigerant. Just for you guys' information, we're actually the leading company. Not necessarily we are going to accept the next generation of a refrigerant right now in North America, but these things can change really quickly. We are the leading company using the A3, and we already deployed more than 400 chiller heat pump with propane globally. Just for everybody's information, we basically recently this year, Swegon Omicron chiller heat pump for the multi-purpose, doing simultaneous cooling and heating, actually win the award for the commercial air source heat pump of the year in Europe. So in the first stage of introduction of our Swegon chiller heat pump line to North America, we basically introduced 3 products. The one on the right is called Tetris Sky. It's a cooling-only chiller. But I suggest you guys keep working together with the Long Building. They have a great product line for the cooling-only chiller. But on the other hand, I strongly suggest pay attention to Swegon's reversible heat pump and also the multi-purpose full-pipe system doing simultaneous cooling and heating. From a capacity point of view, we're basically able to supply you with 30 to 140 tons. Just give you some brief introduction of a North America offer over here. We are using the multi-skill technology from Danfoss, vapor injection. So basically, we are able to extend the working limit for the heating in the low ambient temperature to very low temperature. And when we brought the product to North America, we'll make sure they have a UL 6335 listing. It's very important. I want to spend a little bit of time over here. When when you're using the A1 refrigerant, it's not toxic, it's not flammable. So many of the manufacturer can introduce to North America without the UL listing. That's acceptable because you basically check the electrician and got the sticker onto it, and then you basically able to do it. But I had to bring to the attention to the Denver and Colorado community, engineer community over here. It's very important to have the UL 60335 listing when you transition over to the A2L because it's flammable. And then the electrician inspection will not cover the refrigerant safety at all. We also cover we also meet the ASHRAE 90.1 building high efficient requirement. The refrigerant we are using is R454B. To be honest, we have no preference between the R32 or R454B. In the previous slide, you probably noted that we are doing both in Europe. But when we come over to North America, we have to make a choice because the government body over here basically required the GWP less than 700, and then R32 is too close to it from our standing. So that's why we choose to bring North American with a chiller heat pump with the 454B instead. The one we bring to North America are air-cooled only, although in Europe we're doing both. We may consider to bring the water-cooled as well, but that's going to be in the future. The one bring over here is a package solution. Other than the market share consideration, we basically consider it's a better choice for Swegon and the customer because the package unit give you the complete accessory list and the easy maintenance. On the one hand, Swegon is a high-end company, but to be honest, when you come over to the package chiller heat pump, we actually have a lower upfront cost comparing with the modular chillers. On the other hand, is pretty much you basically ship the product from the factory and drop it into the job site because there's a air cool. You do not need to go through the access doors. So it's very simple for the installation. You do not need to hire somebody, third party or local contractor to do the field assembly. On the other hand, we also add a lot of customization flexibility to the project as well. So if you have a special requirement, talk to long salesperson, and we're going to try to accommodate as well. Just to give you the quick view regarding to the working limit. I know it's not a big topic over here for the cooling in Colorado. We're able to do the cooling up to 115 Fahrenheit. But we do push the limit right now based on the requirement from our rep in Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Phoenix. We are pushing to 125 right now in our lab. On the other hand, I think it's absolutely huge topic over here regarding to the heating working limit. The public data we right now is 0 Fahrenheit, but our lab is actually working on the -4. And I can tell you now it's very positive. We do not have public data, but we are going to update everybody over here in 2 months. Here I'm going to quickly go through some design feature, product features. So no matter how big the units are, the 30 or 140, all of them will have a double circuit with a 2 tandem scroll compressor per circuit. We are using the vapor injection technology to extend the heating working limit. Right now it's 0 official data, but we are pushing for -4. The minimum turn down is 25%. I came from noise control side of business, so the noise control is a very big topic over to me. I'm very happy to see when we bring to North America, the BlueBox will enclose all those compressor in the soundproof compartment. So overall units are super quiet. And then when you put them into the compartment, they're even quieter. On the other hand, you do not need to ask me or build for the Premier fan, quieter fan. It's already been included. We are using the EC fan already. On the other hand, just give you some introduction about the coil we're using. We're using the microchannel coil for the cooling only chiller. But for the heat pump, reverse heat pump, or the multi-purpose, we make sure we're using thin type of coil and with a hydrophilic coating because the defrost can be a huge topic over here. We basically divided the unit into two separate refrigerant circuits, and then they run independently. On the one hand, they provide the redundancy to each other from a capacity point of view, but from a defrost control point of view, it can be huge advantage. So one circuit is in the defrost, the other one still, providing the hot water into the hydronic loop. I know it's to be surprised, especially in Colorado area. Whenever your ambient temperature below 40 Fahrenheit, in the next morning you will see the ice bank begin to build up. Just for information, we are the #1 chiller heat pump manufacturer in the Nordic country. We are doing those low ambient temperature and the defrost control very effectively. So in the old design, you can see there's no tilting. You just drill the hole, and I hope you can do the trick. The reality is, when you have a huge amount of air going through the coil, you can expect this kind of thing happening when you do the defrost. A lot of waters. So we'll make sure we design the defrost control accessory properly. We have a wider drain pan, and they're on the both sides of the coil. We also have oversized drain pipe. They are also completed with heat trace cable all the way to the roof. They are tilted properly, so make sure we remove the water in an efficient way, and then we select the coil. Make sure there's no phase split. Otherwise, you're going to drain the water all the way to the drain pan. So we have a lot of accessory to cover the defrost control, including the heat block under the coil. I would strongly recommend for the Colorado application because you guys it's pretty cold over there. And then the last one is the KTC, the drain pipe that connect to the drain pipe all the way down to the roof drain. I strongly recommend it to include into your package as well. So that is summary of the electrical, mechanical design features. Just want to share some control feature as well. The multi-logic is actually built in. And one of the features I definitely want to share with you guys is it has a smart defrost management system. So it can control up to 32 chillers in one chiller yard. And we'll make sure when you run in the multi-logic, there's only 1 or 2 chiller in the defrost mode, and the rest will still provide the hot water to the hydronic loop. On the other hand, I think it's very exciting to me. Our control system called Smart Link can talk to each other, including the Swegon ERV, chill bin, and also the BlueBox chillers. So we can do the dynamic real-time chilled water and hot water reset. So you are able to significantly increase the COP and the ER in the operation for the whole system. We also have a digital twin. I know it's a great feature for the school board, but on the other hand, I can tell you we are able to disable it if you have a military application. Regarding to the connectivity, we basically cover all the protocols you can imagine, including BACnet, long work, Ethernet, or Modbus. If you want to remote control the chiller or monitor the performance, we can actually add the SIM card, so you can upload all the information to the cloud. We call it the Blue Eye connection. So we already have that functionality covered. That is all information I want to share in this 15 minutes. There's a lot I have to share with you guys in the very near future when officially launch the product. So please feel free to reach out to Bill and all the salesperson from Long Building. We'll be very happy to set a lunch learn and share more information with the whole Colorado engineering communities. Pass back to you, Bill.
Thanks, Richard. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us on this coffee break. Please reach out to your Long sales engineer for additional information on Swegon BlueBox. Thanks again for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.